GOAT basketball player.
Paul George.
Are you?
Paul George is the best player ever.
A big what's up to everybody. Welcome back to the channel. After another disappointing playoff exit, this time in the first round of all things, the Philadelphia 76ers have been linked to various amounts of well-known forwards to help them somehow get over the hump of the second round. Most notably, Paul George in recent months has been linked to the organization, which should be no surprise to anyone, as we have heard the star hunting offseason moniker for over the last freaking decade. Anyway, this is an updated video idea that I was supposed to drop initially during this regular season, and though my opinions have somewhat changed, I think Jimmy Butler is the best option. With that being said, the more realistic option may be looking right in front of us. I'm here to say that we should being all in on bringing in Paul George, because what other option do we really have? So this was an article linking PG to the Sixers all the way back in March. According to sources, aka Mark Stein, the Philadelphia 76ers are reportedly keeping tabs on Los Angeles Clippers forward Paul George. He says that the Sixers continue to loom as an eager Paul George suitor in anticipation that the 9-time All-Star will hit free agency this offseason should he make it onto the open market, and gives the Sixers their formal opportunity to try to lure him across the country. So basically, long story short, the Clippers haven't offered Paul George an extension, and he is eligible for a player option this offseason coming up to decide whether he wants to stay or not to command more money. The Clippers have already taken care of Kawhi Leonard, even though he has been injured the last few playoffs, and odds are James Harden will be next to get his bread, which leaves Paul as the odd man out, unless the second team in Los Angeles and their ownership wants to be in the luxury tax extraordinarily, which who knows, because Steve Ballmer is part owner of Microsoft, and they just built a whole new arena in Inglewood, so there has to be some cash somewhere. If not, PG is gonzo. Enter your Philadelphia 76ers, as they have cap space. 2 slots, I believe, 2 max slots, I believe, and they need a wing to pair with their star center and up-and-coming star guard. It only makes sense. Wings have always been a need of the organization, other than last season when we got a Myron back for the James Harden trade. Shout out to Nicky Bottoms. Still, Bulls gotta keep it a buck. We have never had a quality dual threat 3-4s. No shade to Tobias, who just so happens to be off of the books this season as well. So all of you crumble cookie deniers can be happy about that. Besides, even a slightly Toby defender like myself knows that PG is a clear upgrade. Back in the day during the process era, I always thought that the goal would be to eventually obtain Klay Thompson in free agency, which in recent days has also been touted as a real possibility, even though I definitely don't want him. He is too old at this point. Last year, it was Jaylen Brown before he signed the largest contract in NBA history up until that point. And now it is Mr. Sir Paul George getting the nod and blessing of yours truly. The only cons that I could see from this signing is that, once again, PG is old and injury prone. He will be 34 when the contract starts and 38 when it all ends. And we already know that this man has a long injury history. Plus, he has a podcast. Anyway, the Sixers need to be doing everything in their power to court George to the East Coast, because, once again, what other choice do we have? The championship window is now. We're seeing other teams do all they can to win championships. Porzingis going to the Celtics, Dame going to Milwaukee, Siakam helping the Pacers. Hell, you even see last year's champion, the Denver Nuggets general manager, talking that real talk about getting Jokic more help after they lost in the second round. So what I have to say to all of this, Daryl Morey, go for it. F it. Again, I would rather take Jimmy Butler if it came down to it, but Paul George is not a simple consolation prize. So yeah, we're going into the offseason screwed per usual.